Welcome to Virtual Real Estate Seminars by me, Mina Bedros. I am a licensed real estate instructor and a licensed realtor. I created Real Estate Made Simple to make real estate simple for people and to help people accomplish their real estate goals with ease. I'm really focused on educating people to make sure that they are knowledgeable and empowered to make the best decisions for themselves, their families, and their businesses when it comes to real estate. We help people through buying transactions, selling transactions, even investing. We did work on residential and commercial real estate. We're brokered by eXp Realty, so all of our transactions, buying, selling, investing, whether it's residential or commercial, flows through our brokerage, which is eXp Realty. And that is all I'm going to say about myself. So let's get right into this webinar. So today's webinar, we're talking about selling your home fast and for the maximum price. And we're also going to be mindful of positioning yourself well for your next move, whatever your next move is. So in order to sell your home fast and for the maximum price while positioning yourself well for your next move, here are things that you should know and the things that we're going to cover in today's webinar. The very first thing is understanding what's happening right now in the housing market. Second is, as a result of the things that are happening right now, what should you expect when selling your home in this market? And the third thing is steps and tips to best position yourself for your next move and best position your home to sell fast and for the maximum price. And that's where we're going to spend the bulk of our time here today. I'm going to try to be very concise. Will be done within 30 minutes, maybe even less. And then we can pick up the conversation one-on-one so that we can talk about your specific situation. So there are a lot of smaller details. I'm going to give you a lot of information today, and hopefully it's great and helpful information, but we won't get time to get to everything. Also note that everyone's situation is different. Everyone may be in a different financial situation. They have different motives for selling. They have different goals, needs, wants. So what is best for someone else may not be what's best for you, and vice versa. So really what is best for you depends on your personal situation. So while I'm going to give you a lot of great information today, it's going to be generic. It's going to apply to most people in most situations, but to really get a better understanding of your specific situation and help with your current sale, you want to schedule a call with me afterwards to discuss your situation, and we can move forward from there step by step. All right. So let's get right into it. What is happening in today's market? What is happening in today's market? Here are a few things that you should know if you are selling your home. Number one is that the home buyer demand is very high right now. So there is a high demand despite all the other market conditions. The second factor that you should be aware of is that mortgage rates are very low. So with mortgage rates being very low, one, it drives up affordability, and second, demand. So more people are able to buy homes, more people are able to buy homes at higher prices, and people want to buy homes now while the interest rates are low before they go up. So the mortgage rates being low is driving up affordability and demand. And the third factor that is very important is that there is low inventory, right? So there are very little homes for sale. There's a lot of people that want to buy homes, but there are not a lot of homes for sale. So the market needs homes. And if you're selling a home, you have something that the people need, right? So you have an advantage in selling a home is that there is very low inventory, and you have an item or a product that people may want. If you want to learn about the dynamics of the current market and what is really going on in today's market, I made a video recently about the real estate market in 2020. It's about a 10-minute presentation. I discussed things like how this year is starting off compared to previous years so that we can really analyze how 2020 is going. I also talk about what's happening right now in the market, focusing on low inventory and low mortgage interest rates. I talk about what to expect if you're in the market. I answer the question, is there a bubble, which is a question on many people's minds. I share some predictions for 2020 from experts and a lot of big companies and organizations and publications. And I talk about how you can best position yourself and should you buy, should you sell. I share a lot of data in that video from a lot of credible resources, as you see here on the screen, on the bottom of your screen in red text. So I didn't make any of this up. Again, it's about a 10-minute video. If you want that, just let me know in the chat box and I will send that to you after we're done. All right, so let's keep moving on. So what to expect when selling your home? So I have to put this caveat in there before we move forward as to what to expect. The two big things that prevent homes from selling fast are um, the two big things that prevent homes from selling fast are, one is that homes may be overpriced. So if homes are overpriced, they tend to stay on the market for a very long time. And second, if home is undermarketed. So usually if a home is not selling in a fast moving market, it's usually either overpriced or undermarketed, right? So if your home is priced well, if your home is marketed well, if your home shows well, and by shows well meaning, when people walk in, they like what they see, so it has good appeal, and we'll talk about that later. And if your home has no major issues or no major defects or things that need to be repaired, here is what you can expect. Okay, so if your home has all of these things, here's what you can expect. You can expect, one, a high number of showings. So obviously, if your home looks great, if it's priced well, if it's promoted well, and has no issues, a lot of people are going to want to come see this home, right? So one thing to expect is a high number of showings. Another thing to expect is to receive multiple offers, okay? And we're going to talk about how to handle multiple offers a little later on in the presentation. Um, it's really important, especially when you receive multiple offers, you have a negotiation strategy in place, and a good agent like myself will help you do that. Most of the homes that I've sold recently have, actually all of the homes that I sold recently have received multiple offers, and most of them sold for above asking price. And that is due to how we respond to offers and how we leverage a multiple offer situation to get the maximum price or even an above asking price. So another thing to expect if you do this right is to sell your home for maximum price or for top dollar, as some people say. You can also expect to sell the home on the terms that you prefer, meaning that if you receive multiple offers, different people are going to revise their offer or structure their offer in a way where it is more attractive to you, the seller. So in a way, you can pick and choose which terms you like and don't like and negotiate not only for the best price, but also for the best terms and the terms that you prefer. You can also, if you do all of these steps right, or if your agent does all of these steps right, you should expect to go under contract fairly quickly. Some homes are selling in less than 1 day or pretty much within a day. Now, not every seller should expect to sell their home in 1 day. One, it really depends on the market. But also, so I'm seeing a lot more homes. What's happening is they're kind of selling over a weekend. So a home is getting listed on a Thursday. A lot of people see it over the weekend. They're submitting offers, and by Sunday night, they accept an offer, right? So a few days is a lot more likely, but there are homes selling in about 1 day. So again, if your home has all of these factors and all the factors we mentioned before that, you should expect to go under contract very fast. Another thing to expect, especially if you are buying, given today's interest rates and the high prices, in addition to the equity that you have in your home, that puts you in a great position to be able to sell for a high price and also buy your dream home or the home that you want at a low interest rate. So it also, helps with your affordability. So now is a great time if you want to buy and sell to take advantage of both high prices when you're selling and low interest rates when you're buying. Okay. So how do you best position yourself and your home to sell fast and for maximum price? Well, the first step is you want to contact a real estate professional like myself. And the second step is I'll pretty much walk you through the rest. For the sake of the webinar, I'm going to give you some more information and steps on how to sell your home. But pretty much when you contact me and we meet, I'll take you step by step from there. If we meet or when we meet, we'll discuss your situation. We'll go over the required legal forms that must be in place. We'll talk about pricing, marketing, and each of the steps to move forward in selling your home. One of the things you want to look at and get clear on before you even list your home is your specific situation. And what I mean by that is you want to consider a few things. First is you want to consider what is your motive of selling. Basically, why are you looking to sell? Are you looking to upsize or get a bigger home? Are you looking to downsize, get a smaller home? Are you looking to relocate, and is that local or out of state? Are you building a new home, and if so, how much time is that going to take? What is the build time on that? Are you buying a new home? What is your financial situation like? So how much equity do you have in the home already? What is it that you need out of the sale? How much money do you need to make or profit from the sale of your home? And if you are buying, especially, what is your ability to buy? What does your debt look like? What does your income look like? And what is your affordability or qualification to purchase a new home? What does that look like? And also, what is your time frame of moving or relocating? All of these things have an impact on you, right? And on the sale of your home in terms of money and time. So once you kind of have a good idea of where you stand personally and financially, you want to evaluate your home. You want to look at what repairs or changes need to be made in order to position your home in a more sellable condition and to sell for a higher price. Okay. And then you want to determine what repairs or changes you are willing to do or get done prior to listing and what you don't want to do. So you don't necessarily need to remodel the entire home before you sell it, but you should look at what needs to be done and then determine if you will do those things or what things you will do and what things you will not do, which also has an impact on pricing. And we'll talk about that in a second. One of the biggest things you want to do is price your home correctly, and I can certainly help you with that. As I mentioned, one of the biggest reasons why homes sit on the market for too long is that they're not priced correctly, they're overpriced. Unfortunately, a lot of people think their home is worth more than it is because everyone likes their own home and has a special attachment to it. And a lot of people ask, well, what is my home worth? And that's not a very direct question. Your home is really worth as much as someone else is willing to pay for it. Really, any item is worth as much as someone else is willing to pay for it. There's not an organization out there that dictates the price of homes. There is not like a survey or ranking out there that dictates the price of homes. Really, what is going on in the market dictates the price of homes. And what that usually means is the recently sold homes, how much have they sold for? So the home right next door or the home across the street or a home down the street, if they sold recently and if they're similar in size and amenities and features and condition, how much have those homes sold for and how do they compare to your home? And you want to make adjustments accordingly. So that is really how you want to go about pricing your home, is looking at the market and the recently sold homes, comparing your home to those homes and making adjustments accordingly to basically get to a comfortable value or a comfortable price range. You also want to look at the currently active homes. And so I say that to usually the most important thing is the homes that are sold. Some people might say, well, this home down the street is on sale for X amount of dollars. But if it's on sale, that doesn't really mean that it's at a good price, right? Uh, the good price is the price that homes sold for. So you want to look at homes sold. So if example, if you have a home down the street and it is overpriced and you think, well, I'm going to price my home similar to it. Well, if it's not selling, then that's not really a good price. Then it might be overpriced. So the sale price of the homes that are active isn't as important to the sale price of the homes that are already sold, because already sold, you have that data there. But it is important to look at what's currently active, especially in this market. For example, I was looking at homes in a certain neighborhood and there wasn't much activity of solds in 2020. Now they sold a lot in 2019, um, and there was a certain price, but the active homes currently in 2020 in that neighborhood was at a higher price. So we were noticing a trend of homes that are now coming on the market are being listed at a higher price, and people are kind of pushing that envelope to see how much they can get. So looking at active homes is important, not as important as recently sold home, but it does give you an idea of what's currently for sale, how many homes are currently for sale, which are essentially your competition, and what those homes are for sale for, at what price points are they for sale for. Okay. You might also want to look at pricing, price points at different conditions. For example, I just saw a home that was outdated, and basically when we were looking at comparables, I noticed that there are homes in the area very similar in age and size. Some homes that were completely outdated were selling at a certain price range, and then homes that had cosmetic updates but needed like a kitchen and a bathroom remodels were selling at a higher range. And then homes that were completely remodeled with new kitchen and new bathrooms were selling at an even higher range. So the seller or the owner has then the decision to make, okay, like how much work do I want to put in the house? What repairs do I want to do? How much money I want to spend? How much time do I want to spend? And at what price point do I want to be, right? Do I want to be at the lower range? Do I want to be in the middle range? Do I want to be in the top range? Okay. So it's important to also look at your home and the different price points at the different conditions so you can determine, okay, what work am I going to do, and what price point or range am I going to aim for? All right. Any questions on that, or does that make sense? Let me know in the chat box, and I'll be happy to answer if there are any questions on that. Another big thing you want to do, and unfortunately I see this too often in a lot of homes, is decluttering. So a lot of people, assume that I'm just gonna leave my stuff. People are gonna walk in and they're gonna know that this stuff is gonna be removed when they buy the home. But the reality is, people want to imagine themselves living in that home. If, for example, you walk in the basement and you have a lot of junk in the basement, people won't get to see the space that you have in the basement, and really won't really get to envision themselves living in that space, right? Not everyone has that vision to look beyond the clutter. And so you want to position your home to be in that best light. You want people to feel that, okay, I'm gonna come in here and live in this home, and here is how I'm going to go about, what I'm going to do in this home. So you want to throw the junk out. You want to organize. You want to put things in the right place or put things away. You want to make room and show the space. A lot of times people walk into rooms or spaces and they feel that they're too small. Sometimes it's not that the place or the room is small. Sometimes there's just so much stuff inside that room that it doesn't really allow you to see how big that room is. So decluttering is one of the biggest things. It's simple, but it's one of the biggest things you can do to show that your home in the best light. And another thing, kind of goes without saying, but I'll have to say, is cleaning your home. And sometimes that could mean hiring a professional cleaner if the home has been vacant for a while. If you're not living there for whatever reason, maybe you're renting it and now you want to, sell it. Um, or just if you don't have time to really, clean the home from top to bottom, hire a professional cleaner, get it done. It's worth the investment. Again, you want to show your home in the best light so that when people drive up to the home, they get a good first impression. And then when people walk in the home, they kind of have that wow factor and they can see themselves living in it. Okay. Um, I mentioned this a little earlier, but pretty much also you want, that first impression to be big. So curb appeal is pretty big. You want to look at the outside. When people pull up to your home in their car, whether they park in your driveway or, on the sidewalk, whatever it is, that first impression is really important. So if you need like a facelift, so a lot of people, you'll see that they have painted doors, like a red door or a blue door or something that kind of catches people's attention. So that's one way to kind of remodel the front. and to make sure that you have a good curb appeal. Another thing is yard work. So make sure your yard is well done. If you need to do any landscaping or beautifying outside, outside lights, if you have any outside lights, turn them on. Or if you have like lights in the yard, make sure they're operating. Basically clean up, right? And make sure it looks good from the outside. Also clean the surfaces. So a lot of times, driveways, sidewalks, porches, concrete, gets a little dirty. So you can power wash it outside. You can even power wash the entire exterior of your home, which gives it a nice look. All right. A big thing, and I think some people miss out on this, is professional photos. You got to realize that pictures bring the people in. When people are on their phones or on their computer and they're looking for homes, most people are looking at the pictures much more than they're reading the information, right? So you want to have attractive pictures, pictures that catch the eye, so that people are drawn to want to schedule a showing at your home. So most people decide on homes that they want to see based on the pictures, and you want to get professional photos done. I actually pay for professional photos for all my clients. So if you were to consider me for listing your home, for example, I would pick up the cost of getting professional photographers out there. So by this time that you decluttered, you cleaned, we're getting ready to do the photos. You looked at the repairs, you made the repairs that you want. By this time, we would have already completed the seller disclosure, which is you, the seller, basically stating everything that you know about the house to the new buyers. We would have completed a listing agreement where we talk about the listing terms, the pricing, the marketing strategy, and all of that stuff. We would have checked any township or local requirements to make sure that we are compliant in the sale process. Some townships or local municipalities have certain township inspection requirements or permits that are required in order for you to sell your home. So I will make sure that that's done for you and you don't have to worry about that. And then I will, as I mentioned just in the last slide, I will order professional pictures, and then I'll begin to list your home and promote your home as we discussed and as you permitted. I or any other agent should not do anything without your permission. So no promotion or marketing without you first consenting to that type of marketing or promotion. So you are the ultimate decision maker, and you have to approve and authorize everything, and we will discuss that when we meet and talk about listing your home. So basically, by now we have all of these done. You cleaned up, you got the repairs done, all the forms are done. We're getting pictures done, and we're getting ready to list the home. I begin to list it and promote it, and then you'll begin to see showings. Okay. So in times of showings, what you want to do, one is you don't want to stay home for the showings. A lot of people make this mistake of staying home for the showing, especially if people are selling their home as a for sale by owner, their home, and they feel like they can answer questions and so on. But honestly, that just makes people uncomfortable. When I take buyers into a home and the owner is there, that's not a very comfortable feeling for the buyers. People want to be comfortable. People don't want to feel like someone is watching over their shoulder. And they want to, again, imagine themselves living in that space. So don't stay home for the showings. Actually, it helps you because then you avoid conversations with the buyer, and anything that may not help you have leverage when it comes to negotiation. All right. The way I set it up, as far as showings, if you're working with me, you will receive appointment requests via text and email, even voicemail if you want, and you can confirm or reject with a click of a button. So all the showings, appointments, and confirmation, as well as the feedback from people who see your home, is done electronically, and I will set that up for you and make the feedback available to you as well. All right. Overall, in showings, you want to give people a good showing experience. You got to think about the experience. When people pull up to the home, what is it that they see? When they walk into the home, what it is that they see, right? Another tip is that you want to leave the lights on and basically let light in. right? Well lit homes actually show better. Okay, so that's why you notice if you ever go to open houses or maybe you already seen homes in person, you see that a lot of times all the lights are on just because it shows better, right? So again, you want to put yourself in the position and the shoes of the buyer. So what is their first impression, what they're gonna see or feel when they walk in? And you got to think about when someone is buying a home, they're trying to imagine themselves in these spaces that you have. So they're gonna look at the kitchen, they're gonna imagine themselves cooking in that kitchen or having a meal in that kitchen. They're gonna look at the living area and imagine themselves hanging out there. They're gonna look at the bathrooms, right? They're gonna look at the rooms and do the room sizes meet what they're looking for. They're gonna, if they entertain guests, they're gonna look for outside entertainment or maybe inside the like basements and stuff like that. So they're going to imagine themselves living in that home and essentially asking themselves, will this work for me, right? Or will this work for my family? And you want to position your home to be very neutral, and that a lot of people can imagine themselves living in there. That's why it's very important to follow the things that we mentioned earlier. All right. So you're receiving a lot of showings, and then you'll begin to receive offers. So offers are going to be sent to me, the agent, and then I will disclose those offers to you. Okay. And when you receive offers, here are the things that you want to do. One is you want to evaluate the offers. Okay, you don't want to accept or reject right away. You want to evaluate the offers, and you want to take an offer as a beginning of a conversation. Okay, if you don't like an offer, you don't. It really depends on your situation. Obviously, if you receive like 10 offers and 5 of them are bad, you can reject them right away, right? But in a general sense, take an offer as a beginning of a conversation. Someone is basically saying hello to you or is knocking on your door, and you're beginning to have a conversation with that person, right? So take an offer as a beginning of a conversation and have a negotiation strategy in place. An agent like myself, again, will have that in place for you, and will make sure that we'll leverage the offers or multiple offers and negotiate accordingly so that we can get to the maximum price and the terms that you prefer. Okay, excuse me. Once you accept an offer, a good agent like myself will stay on top of things. So there are quite a few steps in the process that will take place. So I would make sure that deposit is received on time, that the inspection is done, and we'll walk through, inspections and anything to be done after inspections. When buyers get inspections, after the inspection, they have the right to either withdraw from the sale. If they're not satisfied with the inspection report, they have the right to ask you, the seller, for repairs to be made, and or they have the right to ask you, the seller, for money concessions or a deduction in price. Now, the buyer and the seller then have to come to agreement in order for the process to move forward. And me, the agent, I will be there to kind of facilitate all of that. I will make sure that the appraisal comes in on time, and also stay on top of the buyer's mortgage process to make sure that we're on our way to closing and that we're not delaying anything on your end. I'll make sure that title work is being coordinated and getting done, and I'll also coordinate the closing or the settlement itself. You, the seller, really don't have to attend closing. Most sellers that I work with really don't attend their closing. They sign beforehand, and pretty much after closing, they get their proceeds and a check, and that's pretty much it. So sellers oftentimes don't attend closing, but you can. It's really a personal decision to you. If you are buying, obviously you have a little bit more things to worry about. You kind of have a few things going on at the same time, so it's a balancing act. So if you are buying and selling at the same time, I will help you manage both those things simultaneously. overall, also as realtors, good realtors are good problem solvers. And I'm not going to tell you that issues don't come up. Issues do come up, unfortunately, and some things are, not within our sight. So things come up that we don't expect. But good realtors like myself, we're problem solvers, and we'll make sure to solve the problem and handle any issues that may arise to get you to closing. There's a lot of deals that I handled where issues have come up that could have led to the deal being canceled, but just using some problem solving and making sure that understanding what every party wants and needs, solving the problem and moving forward and getting the deal to closing, and making sure that the sellers and the buyers are happy. So basically, I get things done, and I will solve any and all problems for you. All right. Like I said earlier, I want to keep this very short, but we kind of covered quite a few things in the last 30 minutes or so. We talked about what's happening in the housing market. We talked about what to expect when selling your home in this market. We talked about steps and tips to best position yourself and your home so that you can position yourself well for your next move and sell your home fast and for maximum price. As I mentioned earlier, everyone's situation is different. So you should really consult with a real estate professional like myself so that we can, understand your situation better and begin to, lay out the steps that need to happen in order to sell your home fast and uh, for the most amount of money possible.